Hi, it's Kristen. This is a travel holiday reading vlog because I'm going to Croatia. I'm so excited. I have been signed up to do this trip for ages now. So Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction, who I will link down below, in fact, a lot of booktubers have been doing Trover trips lately. Trover Trip is a company who've also got in contact with different influencers, booktubers, and organised trips. And Ashley's one, which I saw sort of end of last year, really intrigued me. It's going to Croatia. There's various spots along the way. We're doing a couple of days in Split, then going to an island for a couple of days, and then going to Dubrovnik for a couple of days, and then going home. And we're going out there, meeting a group of people. They're all like women around my age, so that's cool. And yeah, we're doing lots of different things. We're doing walking tours, vineyard tours. It sounded so good, and I've not been abroad for I think 7 years, and then I've been on a couple of like nearby UK holidays, like not going that far from where I live. Um, so this is like my first big holiday in 7 years. Also, other than like day or weekend trips to visit friends, I've never like been away by myself. And I know that I'm meeting people out there, um, but I'm like flying by myself to Croatia, flying back from Croatia to Bristol. Um, yeah, I'm so nervous. I get anxious really easily, so I'm very nervous about this, but I'm also so excited. Anyway, I thought I would turn this into like a reading vlog as well, because an aspect of it is that in Dubrovnik we are going to visit some of where they filmed Game of Thrones, particularly the King's Landing scenes. Um, so, an aspect of the trip, Ashley suggested, be a book club element, and we read a Game of Thrones book and then talk about it, have a book club meetup in the place where they filmed Game of Thrones, which is so cool. So initially the book was going to be, I think, Fire and Blood by George R. R. Martin, but that book was massive and also quite intense. Like, it was very historical, and like it's the history, I think, of the Targaryens. It's what the House of Dragons, whatever the newer show is called, um, is based on. So Ashley decided to change it, asked if we would want to read that or if we maybe wanted to change it to like a George R. R. Martin novella instead, something just slightly lighter, if any of his work can be considered light, but just something maybe quicker to read. So we settled on A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by George R. R. Martin, and this follows Sir Duncan the Tall, and a his squire, a boy called Egg, whose true identity must be kept hidden. So we're following Dunk and Egg, and their adventures, mishaps, all that kind of stuff. So I believe that this is a bind up of a few novellas about these characters that George R. R. Martin wrote. It's like 355 pages. I'm going away this Saturday. It's Monday. The font is very small. I am worried because there's also like no chapters. I think there's parts to it, but there's no like chapters, and I am a very goal-oriented reader of like, hit that chapter, take a little break, read one more chapter, take a break. But like an unending or just like start to finish book freaks me out a little bit. There are, though, good thing, pictures throughout, like lovely illustrations, just throughout the book. Some just sort of take up parts of the page. Others are like full page. So that should hopefully cut down the reading time a little bit, even it out a bit for me. But yes, so this is the book club book. I'm reading this before I go away because this is a library copy, because I didn't necessarily want to buy the book, and I don't want to take a library book on holiday with me. Also, I'm not convinced that I could read all this whilst on holiday. I like to have like lighter fun books while away. So the beginning of this vlog is going to be me reading this at home, and then the rest of the vlog will be me reading other fun books on holiday, and I'm sure get b-roll vloggy clips of me on holiday, which will be fun. I want like a fun book with me that I can read when we have like beach time, stuff like that. Just something fun and easy and lighter. It's like read in the morning when I go to bed, because I like winding down or getting the day started with a book. So I'm thinking, just because of how much time I know I will have on that last day at the airport sat around, I'm thinking of taking 2 books and my Kindle. Normally I would just take either 1 book on my Kindle or 2 physical books. Also, normally when I go on holiday with like my sister and my mum, and we all bring books that we can all share. So if I like read my 2 books really quickly, and my sister's read one of her books, we swap, or like I swap with my mum or something, but I don't have that to fall back on. And I really, like, I might not read much at all, but I might read a ton. I'm gonna take 2 physical books and a Kindle, which you might think is overkill, but I'd rather be prepared than be going, shit, I have nothing to read, you know? So that is my plan. But first, A Night in the Seven Kingdoms. So I've found an audiobook for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which could be a good way to get me through this book, because 355 pages and very small font is like fine if I had like time and it wasn't on like a time crunch, because I don't read super fast, especially like intense fantasy books. I don't read super fast, and you know, I've got today, I've got half of tomorrow because I'm working in the morning tomorrow. I don't have any time on Wednesday to read because I'm working all day. And then I have Thursday and Friday. But I sort of want to be done by Friday, because Friday I just want to have as a day to finish my packing, relax, just make sure I have everything, and not be like speed reading a book in order to finish it before I go away. So I only really have all of today, all of Thursday, and half of Tuesday. So like 2.5 days to read that book, which I don't think I would manage, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, an audiobook will help. I tend to listen to audiobooks on like 2 times speed, or at least 1.5 times speed. So hopefully if I listen to that, or even like partially listen to the audiobook and read the rest physically, like it will get me through it somewhat. So I'm going to do the audiobook for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and see how I get on with that. And if it gets me through it, because I don't want this to like sound like a chore, because it's supposed to be for a fun book club. It's supposed to be exciting that we're going to talk about this book in Dubrovnik where they filmed Game of Thrones, so I don't want to be like, ugh, gotta read this book. So yeah, I've been really into audiobooks lately, so I think that is a good option for me, because it means I can also read while I'm out and about, while I'm doing stuff around the house that needs to be done in those few days. I'm not just tied to the times when I can just sit down and read and have nothing else to do. I can listen as I'm doing other stuff. So audiobook is the route I am going, and I will let you know how I'm getting on, what I think, all that good stuff. So I'm on to part 7 of the audiobook, which is like 2.5 hours of listening, which equates to like page 92 of the book, which is pretty good. I feel like I could listen to half of this today maybe and half of it tomorrow. That would be good. So story wise, we are at a tourney. So Sir Duncan took Egg on as his squire, and they went to this tourney, and Sir Duncan was trying to decide who he was gonna like fight and what he could enter, and then he defended this young woman from being attacked, but the person who was attacking her was a prince, and so now he has been challenged, sort of a trial by combat situation. So he has to round up a group of people to help him in the trial, the fight, and that's sort of where I'm up to. I'm enjoying it so far. It's not super gripping me, but I think listening to it on the audiobook is helpful, because I feel like, I don't know, I'm enjoying it more. The story's going quicker than if I were to read it physically, but I am sort of following along in the book, just to see the illustrations, because the illustrations are pretty cool. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the story. I sort of feel like I should be making notes to take to the book club on holiday, but I'm not sure if I will or not, or if I just will at the end. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I will update you when more has happened. Finished part 1, which is the Hedge Knight story, which is basically all about how Dunk and Egg meet, how Egg becomes Sir Duncan's like official squire, and how people come to know of Sir Duncan and stuff like that. It was an interesting story. I enjoyed it. I'm on to part 2 now, which is called The Sworn Sword. So that's like 120 pages into the physical book, and I think like 3.5-ish hours of the audiobook. So I definitely think I can listen to at least half of this. I'm thinking maybe if I listen to the second story, perhaps, and then do the last, because I think there's 3 novellas in this, do the last story tomorrow, or just see how I'm getting on. So yeah, I will let you know what the second novella is about. Finished the second story, the Sworn Sword, something like that. Again, enjoyed it, didn't love it. I think I actually liked the first story slightly better. This one was all about Dunk and Egg travelling, and meeting a knight who was having trouble with his land and like the river that runs through it. A woman known as the Red Widow, who lived like neighbouring to him, had built a dam and a moat, and so he wasn't getting any water. So it was about like this land dispute, but then like the further themes of it were about like trust and loyalty and stuff like that. I think it was more just like an example of an everyday thing that a knight might come across. But now I'm on to the third and final story, which I was going to do tomorrow, but actually it's still quite early in the evening, and I feel like I could just finish this book today. Perhaps. I'm trying to see what the final book is. The final part is The Mystery Night. So I think I'm just going to go ahead. It's like that part of the book. But I've read like most of the book, listening to it and flipping through the illustrations. Already I've got a third of the book left. I feel like I might as well just finish it before I go to bed tonight, and then I've done it. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. So I listened to the third story of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms after I listened to the second. So I listened to the whole audiobook in one day. The third story was called The Mystery Night and was about another tourney and sort of like lineages and true kings and opposing political sides and traitors and stuff like that. It was okay. I think I liked it the least, maybe. I think I found it the hardest to follow. I don't know if I maybe would have followed it better if I'd been reading it physically. But yeah, every story got slightly worse for me. Not like bad, but I think the first story was my favourite, then the second story, then the third story. Overall, I gave the book 3 stars. I didn't expect to give it much more than that, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not a short story kind of person necessarily. So it was okay. It was how I expected it to be for me. But I'm glad I read it because now I can contribute to the book club talk on holiday. It's made me want to read more fantasy, so that's a bonus from it, I guess. I'm gonna go return this to the library now so that that's like done and I don't have to worry about it while I'm on holiday. I do have it reserved for like days after my holiday, but I just thought, take it back to the library now, done and dusted. Just checked into the hotel after like walking down to the harbour for an hour, so redness. Going to the rooftop pool now. Yeah, gonna go socialise. I didn't do another clip while I was at home because yesterday was like busy getting ready, packing, doing all that stuff. And then I was up at like 3:30 a.m. this morning, so absolutely not. But yeah, here, brought a few books with me. I'll discuss it at some point if I can. Another update, because I've just like not been updating. So, the last clip you saw of me talking was day one when I arrived in Split. On that day, arrived at the hotel, dropped suitcases off, went for a walk with Cody, who was on the same transfer as me. We walked around Split, found a harbour, looked at that, came back to the hotel, was able to check in. Then we went up to the rooftop pool where we sort of met with Ashley and Becca, and then went in the pool for a bit. It was lovely. Some of the other girls arrived, so we met them. Then it was like get changed, get ready for dinner. We went out, we ate in the old town in Split, which was really lovely. Day two, we met some of the other girls who arrived late. In the morning, we went to Croatia National Park and saw some beautiful waterfalls. Took some pictures. Went to this little nearby beach after that, and then we came back into Split. A few of us walked around the old town, did this big walk, bought some souvenirs, and then we met with the rest of the group and we did a guided tour of Diocletian or Diocletian's palace, which was so fun. The tour guide was so fun. And then we had dinner and we got like the famous gelato that people queue ages for. And now we are on day three. We left Split this morning, got on a catamaran and have come to Korčula, which again is beautiful. I'm in the hotel room now. My hotel roommate, Emily, has gone to the beach for a bit. We just went into the old town and had this storytelling walking tour where the tour guide dressed up as Lady Francesca, who was Marco Polo's mistress, and she did this big walking tour, which was incredible. And then after that, we were able to just look around, search for ourselves, bought some more like postcards and stuff. But I will show you, if I can open it, I will show you our balcony. So this is our hotel room. It's pretty small, it's pretty standard. Some of the other girls apparently have really big hotel rooms. And they were in the group chat going, wow, these hotel rooms are like mini apartments and we have 2 balconies. And I was like, we don't, but it's still nice. So it's a bit noisy out here, but here we go, out on the balcony. We don't have a great view. It's a view of the parking lot, but balcony down there is quite nice. So yeah, I just want to sit out here and read. So yeah, a lot of the others have gone off. Emily has gone to the beach, like I said. So I've just taken a shower because I was so hot. And I think I'm just going to chill. We're meeting at 6, which is in an hour, and then we're going out for dinner. I think I'm just going to sit and read on the balcony for a bit, or even in my bed. But yeah, that's busy. I will now do like B-roll of all the days so far. I think that's how this is going to work out because I've just been so busy, I haven't stopped to vlog. Every time we've come in at night, it's been like, okay, bedtime. Anytime we've come in after an activity, it's been like, okay, shower and then off doing something else, or shower, dinner. So it's going to be sporadically, but yes. I've been reading bits and bobs of As You Wish by Kerry Elwes. I started it the day before I left, thinking it's a short book, I can fit it in before I go. Did not finish it, so I brought it on holiday with me to finish. But I would like to finish it because then I want to start You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry, because if I don't read it while I'm on vacation, holiday, what a wasted opportunity. So I'm gonna go read.
today's the last day of holiday. I've not filmed in ages. We went from Korčula to Dubrovnik, and we've spent a couple of days in Dubrovnik. I finished As You Wish a couple of days ago, I think. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was a really great behind the scenes look at the making of The Princess Bride. Very heartwarming, some fun little anecdotes in there. Everyone's gone home now. Everyone's transfer this morning was at 10:30, so we all got up and had breakfast around the same time, then went back to our rooms, finished packing, and then I saw everyone off, waved them goodbye. And now my transfer is not until 5:30, so I've got a lot of time to kill. And then at the airport, my flight's been delayed, so I'll have time to kill at the airport as well. So I spent a little bit of time in the hotel reading. I'm now reading You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. Spent some time reading, got a good chunk of the way into the book, enjoying it so far. We have Poppy and Alex, who are friends, or like former friends, who used to go on holiday with each other every summer, but they've not been for 2 years because something happened in Croatia, funnily enough. So something happened, we don't know exactly what, but they've decided to do another holiday together just to get away, to sort of reminisce on the old times. So I've been reading that in the hotel, and now I've just come out to wander, and I found this lovely little walk along the sort of coastline, and every few metres or so there are little steps down to these areas, and you can just come and sit by the water. So I thought I would come down here and read my book. I'm in the airport. My flight's been delayed again, which I knew earlier. So my flight was supposed to be 9:35. It's now scheduled for 11:20. It is currently 7:20. The transfer driver who was taking me to the airport called the hotel and asked if he could pick me up like 50 minutes early, and I said sure, because I didn't want to inconvenience him. Luckily I was at the hotel and like getting my suitcase back from reception, so could answer that phone call. But yeah, got to the airport then about 5:15. Got something to eat, thank goodness, and sort of chilled out for a bit. Read some more of You and Me on Vacation. Then I was able to check my bags about an hour ago, check my suitcase, and then this is such a small airport and there's not many flights going out tonight that boarding pass check and security check was so quick. I was through within like half an hour, I think, and then went through duty free, picked up a couple of last minute bits that I can give to my family. Got some rakia for my siblings, which is the sort of strong liquor they drink here. And then, went through last passport check, and I'm currently sat at my gate. There is no one else here, which is the only reason I'm vlogging. Literally no one else anywhere in this section of the airport. So I'm going to continue reading. I think I'll probably finish my book because I'm 2/3 of the way through, maybe slightly less than that. But I now have 4 hours to kill until my flight. So yeah, gonna do a lot of reading, and I will update you, I don't know, later if I'm really bored, or potentially tomorrow once I'm home and rested. So yeah, update you later. I'm back.
back home, back in my bedroom, back from a holiday, and I'm going to do like a little wrap up. I got back on Saturday, the 16th in the morning, like 2:30 a.m. about is when I got home. I was at the airport for a long time in Dubrovnik. My flight got delayed a couple of times, as I think I talked about before. I was there at my gate for about 4 hours, where I read a lot more of my book. I did also listen to some podcasts, so I didn't quite finish my book. I got to like here, and then people started getting on the plane. So I put my book away. I didn't read on the plane. I got my book out and sort of attempted to, but at that point I was so tired that I just put it away again and fell asleep on the plane. But then I finished it when I woke up. Once I'd got home, got to bed, when I woke up the next day, I had a really chill morning, and then I finished the book. Read like the last 30 pages or whatever it was. So yes, my thoughts on the book. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I liked Beach Read by Emily Henry, but I think this is her most popular one according to Goodreads, based on like a number of reviews. It was fun, it was cute. I'm not huge typically on friends to lovers romance, which this is like the whole plot is these friends who have previously like gone away together for the past like 10 summers. They've known each other for like 12 years. They've been on holiday together for the past several summers, and then 2 years before the present day of this book, something happened on their last holiday, and they've not seen each other since, and then they decide to go on holiday one last time, or like again, and see how things are, and then they, you know, admit their feelings for each other, etc. So I didn't go into this thinking that I would necessarily love that aspect of it. I was thinking maybe I could like it because I liked Emily Henry's first book. I liked her writing, so I thought if anyone can get me to like friends to lovers, maybe it's Emily Henry. I liked it, didn't love it. If you are a big fan of friends to lovers as a trope and you've not read this, I would say give it a go. It's a lot of not will they won't they, sort of will they won't they, but also like very much a just talk to each other kind of vibe throughout, which I know some people like. I found sort of frustrating towards the end. At first I didn't mind it too much, but once you found out like how many moments, like slightly romantic moments, or will they won't they moments that they'd had leading up to the present day, I got a bit frustrated with the characters in a just talk to each other, how can you not see that you're not just friends kind of way. So I would give this like a 3.25 maybe. I really enjoyed the experience of reading this, because on my last day in Dubrovnik, when I was by myself, I found those lovely little steps down onto like the very edge of the coastline, right by the sea, and I just sat and read for ages. Got myself some lunch, a drink and a couple of snacks, went back, found a slightly different section, sat and read some more, then went back to the hotel, read in the hotel, read in the airport. So it was like a good book that I was like wanting to get back to when I wasn't reading it. So in that aspect, it was very readable, very good, kept me entertained. I wasn't thinking, oh, I wish I had another book or anything like that. So yeah, it got me through my final day alone, got me through the airport, kept me entertained, wanting to read. So in that respect, a really good book to have. Also, I think I mentioned like in a previous clip, I found it very funny that, like, a weird coincidence, that the last vacation they'd gone on together before the present day one was to Croatia, which is where I was. And then towards the end of the book, they specifically say that they went to Dubrovnik and an island called Korčula, which is where we went, which was just such a weird coincidence because I did not know that that was like the holiday or a holiday aspect of this book. So that was a really funny coincidence. And they also talk about how the place they went before Croatia was Tuscany, which is where my sister got back from the day before I went away. So just weird, one of those weird moments where like real life and book kind of aligned in a weird way. It was it was odd, but added to the entertainment. So yes, enjoyed this, enjoyed the experience of reading it, and thought it was entertaining, fun enough. I will definitely read more Emily Henry. I think she's very readable. I guess that's why she's so popular. But yeah, glad I read this and I took it on holiday with me. So that is it. I would tell you about the book club discussions we had about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, except we never actually ended up doing that because we were so busy splitting off into little groups and stuff. We generally talked about like Game of Thrones as a series, as a book series, and the TV show throughout the week because we were going to different locations. We saw where they filmed the Walk of Shame scene. We walked across the Dubrovnik city walls. We went to the fort where they filmed The Red Keep. And in Split we saw a couple of locations. So throughout the holiday we sort of chatted about Game of Thrones here and there, which was very fun. So yeah, we did a couple of days in Split, a couple of days in Korčula, a couple of days in Dubrovnik. I sort of, by leaving at a later time than everyone else, almost got like an extra day in Dubrovnik, which was quite cool because it meant I got to see the beach that the others didn't, because I wandered down there by myself. I had such a wonderful time. It was such a good holiday. All of the girls were so lovely, very friendly. We've all followed each other on Instagram. We have our Discord chat. It was just a really lovely time. And I finished a book. I finished As You Wish. I read a whole book. And then obviously the beginning of the week that I actually left, I read A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So in the past 2 weeks I've read 3 books whilst also experiencing an incredible holiday. So I feel like this is very much a success for me. I hope you enjoyed this because it wasn't so reading heavy, or there were parts of this vlog that were reading heavy, and then it got a bit sporadic with quite a lot of b-roll. But yeah, just by nature of finding moments to film, it could be difficult. And yeah, so busy and just wanting to experience the holiday. I didn't constantly have my camera out. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. It's made me want to travel more, definitely. So potentially in the future there could be more travel reading vlogs. But for now I will leave you with this, and there will be another video soon. Bye!